Welcome, all of you. Let us start the journey of learning about psychology. First of all, psychology as a branch of science is defined in various ways. It is a broad field that explores a variety of questions about feelings, thoughts, and actions. So, did you know from where the term psychology is derived? It is derived from the Greek word psyche and logos, where psyche means soul or mind and logos means science or study. Hence, Greek philosophers defined psychology as a science of the soul or science of the mind. As various scientists give us some laws and theorems in subjects such as maths and science, in psychology we have various theorists who has given some of the important terms in psychology. Let's study them. Our first theorist, William James, who was an American philosopher and a psychologist. He was the first ever person who wrote a textbook for psychology called Principles of Psychology in 1890. James was also known for contributing to functionalism, which we will study in next tutorials, which was one of the earliest schools of thoughts in psychology. Our next theorist is Wilhelm Wundt. He was the first person who opened the first laboratory for psychology at Leipzig University in 1879. He tried to apply scientific principles to study the human mind. Now you must be wondering how psychology can be measured in the lab, right? In the lab, Wundt tried to study how we sense, how we perceive a stimulus, how we learn, how our memory works, and how we think, etc. After his research, he concluded that psychology is a science of consciousness. So till now, psychology was just surrounded by studies on mind, thoughts, emotions, etc. But our next theorist, John B. Watson, he had defined psychology as a science of behavior. He said that we can observe and measure behavior directly and indirectly, and we can also experiment with the behavior. In line with what John B. Watson said, our next theorist, Morgan and King, they also proposed that psychology is a science of human and animal behavior. It includes the application of science to human problems. So, in the definition given by Morgan and King, there are some key points which are important. First, why is the behavior given more importance rather than the mind, thoughts, or feelings? And what is the science behind psychology? We all know what is science, but psychology as a science has three general characteristics. First, it is empirical in nature, which means we can conduct a research on this. Second, it is systematic in its approach, which follows a fixed plan so that the things are done efficiently. And third, it measures behavior. But you must be wondering, how can we measure psychology? Isn't it difficult? Absolutely. Measurement in psychology is often more difficult than in physics. Measurement in the sense we can count the number of times a person behaves in one way in one situation and another way in another situation. So here in psychological studies, human behavior is represented by three symbols, S, O and R, where S stands for stimulus, O stands for organism and R stands for a response of the organism. These are some psychological terms. Let's understand it in a simple language. So the initial S stands for stimulus. Stimulus is anything or any physical event or condition that give rise to an activity of a sense organ. It may be an external stimulus that we get from our surrounding and our environment, such as light waves, touch, sound, etc. It can also be an internal stimulus, that is stimuli for hunger and thirst. The initial O represents organism, which means a human being or an animal. And the initial R represents a response in the reaction of the organism to a stimulus. So, as we have seen what is stimulus, organism and response in S, O and R, now we will see what is behavior. In psychology, behavior is basically divided into two parts, overt and covert activities. In overt activities, we have included observable behavior and bodily movements such as walking, talking, dancing, etc. And in covert activities include mental processes which cannot be observed, such as thoughts, emotions, remembering, forgetting, etc. Through these two activities, psychologists can study and measure behavior. So, our next psychologist, Robert Feldman, is also trying to explain that psychology is a scientific study of behavior and mental processes. As with science, psychology attempts to explain, predict, and modify the lives of people and the world in which they live. So, by using these scientific methods, psychologists can find human behavior and mental processes. For instance, how do we see colors? What is intelligence? What is attention or memory? How do we behave in a particular way? And what is the reason behind our behavior? And many such things. These questions provide just a hint of various topics and branches of psychology. Let us explore the branches of psychology in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. If you like this video, do share and subscribe to our channel for more such content. Till then, bye bye.